asking. So let's continue with that sentence just right here.
마시고 싶어요. 그러면 마시고 갈게요. 또는 여기에서 마실게요. 라고 말해요.
Okay, so let me repeat that sentence together. I will be repeating first time faster and one time slower, so you're more than welcome to practice with me. 그러면 마시고 갈게요. 돈은 여기에서 마실게요. 라고 해요. Now let me repeat a little bit slower for you guys. 그러면 마시고 갈게요. 돈은 여기에서 마실게요. 라고 말해요. Okay, now let's translate everything together. We have 그러면. So as you guys know, a lot of words that are starting in 그 are connective words. However, do you guys know what is the translation to 그러면? Comment down below if you guys know what 그러면 would mean. Does any of you guys know the meaning behind 그러면? Comment down below if you guys know. Even if you don't know, you can still try and guess the meaning of that word. So comment down below. I know we are starting with a very, very strong one. Sorry about that. If you guys do not know what that means, I will let you guys know. But let's see if some of you guys already know the meaning of that word. What does 그러면 would mean? Comment down below if you know that answer. So I will be drinking a little bit of water, and after that, I will give you guys the answer. Okay, so I see one great answer. They've said then. Then could work. It could definitely work. Then, in my head, I always have 그러면 linked with in that case. So, 그러면 in my head would be in that case, but it can also mean then. So, you can use both of them. Let me just see if there is maybe other alternative to those two as well that you can use to use with 그러면. If so can work as well. So if so, then, and in that case, okay, this is the words that could work for 그러면. Okay, amazing. Okay, let me just put it a little bit smaller because I think it's a little bit too big for the screen. Okay, 잠시만요. This is not straight, but okay, let's continue that way. So 그러면, then, if so, in that case, all of these could work. We have 마시고 갈게요. So 마시고 comes from the verb 마시다, to drink. And then we have the go particle that normally means and is only used in between verbs or adjectives. And then we have 갈게요. Do you guys know what this is? Comment down below if you guys know what this is. This comes from the verb 가다, to go, but in that tense form. Do you guys know what that means? Comment down below if you know what that means with that tense. Thank you so much for the like. Thank you. So I will be giving you guys a couple more seconds to comment down below what this verb tense would mean. What does that mean? Comment down below. I will give you guys a couple more seconds to comment down below what 갈게요 would mean. So I will give you guys the answer in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So that is actually correct. It comes from a tense of future. Okay, so it is a future tense. That basically means I'm going to blah blah blah. So a lot of people can view it as I will, but because whenever you say I will, you plan to do something, but it doesn't necessarily mean that you will actually be doing it. So sometimes you will say, okay, I will do it, and then you end up not doing it. But here, whenever you use 일게요, it is a certainty in the future tense. So I'm going to do that would be the most accurate way of translating that, but I will can work as well. It's just, it is fixed, it is certain that I will do it that.
No, that's 갈 거예요. So 갈 거예요 normally is like future tense, but it's not necessarily certain. So 을게요 is a certainty. What's the difference between 을 거예요? So 을 거예요 is a future tense as well, but it is a future tense that how can I say that? It's more in the future tense, not necessarily far away. How can I explain that? It's not, yeah, it is more far away. Like, I will, like, for example, you can say, tomorrow I will go buy the groceries. So you are planning to do it, okay? But it doesn't necessarily mean that you will end up doing it. So there is, you know, some type of uncertainty in the answer when you are saying like 을 거예요. So I will do that. But whenever you want to say 을게요, it is more certain. So for example, you can say if you are gonna be doing a task at work, you can say I'm going to do that. So it will be for sure me that will be doing that. Does that make sense? So it is making, yeah, I guess yeah, I guess it can be like more of a promise. So it is something that will for sure happen. So yeah, you can say that it is more like a promise, right? So I will do it, I'm going to do it, but as in a very certain, you know, it's gonna happen for sure, basically. So this is a slight difference. A lot of people, sometimes since there is not a lot of like difference in between the two, a lot of people can use them like interchangeably. Is that a word in English? Something like that. But there is a small difference. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, exactly. So one is very, very certain. So there is no way it's not gonna happen. And then the other one, it's like I will do it, but there is a slight chance that I might not do it. So this is the difference between those two. So here it's saying I'm going to drink. I'm going to go and drink. Okay, going to drink. Yeah, going to drink. Yeah. So that would be how it would be translated, okay? So it is something that is for sure. There is no other way. And anyways, yes, thank you so much. I was not sure if interchangeably was a word because sometimes I just invent some words. Yeah, especially in English, sometimes I just create words that do not exist. So, you know, bear with it. Okay, so let's continue now. So here it would mean in that case, you can say that. Okay, so it's basically used when you want to drink at the cafe. Yeah, so here it's more like when you want to drink at the cafe directly, and you do not want to take out, okay? So let's think of it as drink and go, or drink and will be going, okay? So this is how you can think of it. Now let's continue with the second part of the sentence just right here. So we have 돈은. Do you guys remember what to would mean? So we have seen it a couple of times before, and if you were here yesterday in my other Korean study live streams, you might remember what that means. So what does to would mean? Does any of you guys remember the meaning of 돈은? What could that mean? Comment down below if you guys remember what that means. Thank you so much for the follow. Thank you. Also, if you guys are new, don't forget to follow me just right here as I go live 4 times a week where we study Korean together just like today. So do you guys remember what 돈은 would mean? If not, that is totally okay. Or I think yes, in some contexts it can mean or. That is great. It also has the translation to moreover. Sometimes it can mean again too. So let me just see. I know there is another way, but for me, I always remember it with moreover. But once more is the one I was searching for. So yes, you can say either moreover, once more, and or depending on the context. Here it can mean basically all of them, like moreover or. Those are both that could work as well for 돈은. Okay? And then after that, we have 여기에서. 여기. Do you guys remember what 여기 would mean? Comment down below if you remember what 여기 would mean. This is a word that is used to express some type of location because we have the 에서 particle that is associated with location or time particle. So comment down below if you guys know what 여기 would mean. This is basically the translation to this sentence. Okay, so what does that mean? I will give you guys a couple more seconds to comment down below the answer. So what does 여기 mean? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So yes, this is actually correct. 여기 would mean here. Okay, so that is correct. 여기, here. And then we have 마실게요. So once again, okay, this is in the future tense. This is the verb 마시다, to drink. So it's basically saying that it is for sure gonna happen. So she will be drinking, or she's going to be drinking it here. Okay. That is how we could translate this part of the sentence. So think of it whenever you want to use 일게요, something that is certain. So there is no way that the decision will change in the meantime. She says she's going to drink here. Yeah, exactly. This is basically the meaning of that whole sentence. And then we have 라고. Do you guys remember what this grammar pattern mean? Comment down below. Technically, 라고 말해요 comes together. Comment down below if you guys know what that means. What could that mean? I will give you guys a couple more seconds to comment down below the answer. I see some great answers. I will give you guys a little bit more time so that you are able to give the answer as well. I will be drinking a little bit of water, and after that, I will give you guys the answer. Okay, so that is amazing. So first of all, let's start with something about quoting. Yeah, Tiff, that is actually correct. You guys are doing amazingly. So let's start with the verb 말해요. That comes from the verb 말하다. It is the verb to talk or to speak, okay? And then after that, the 라고 part is used when you want to quote what someone said, or how something is called. So here in this case, it is like you say it like this. Okay, so this is a comparison. So the 라고 would mean this is how something is called, or this is how it is being said, or how, what someone said. So there are 3 different ways to use the 라고 particle. Can we call that a particle? Probably, but yes. So this is because it is often used after quotation mark. Sometimes it will be used without quotation mark, but I would say 75% of the time there will be some quotation mark that would be included in the sentence. So now that we know the meaning behind each word, let's put everything together. So we have here, moreover, once more, or you can say, okay, you can speak, I will be drinking it here. Okay, so you can also say that. Both of them could work. 마시고 갈게요, or 여기에서 마실게요. I will be drinking it here, or I will be drinking and going. Okay, so that would be the 2 sentences that you want to use if you want to say that you will be drinking your coffee inside the location. So now let's continue with the next sentences. However, if you have any questions about that one, please feel free to comment down below and I will try my best to explain it again. Thank you so much for the follow. Thank you. So let's continue now.
카페에서 안 마시고 싶어요. 그러면 포장해 주세요. 라고 말해요.
Okay, so now let's repeat those 2 sentences together. I will first be saying it 1 time faster and 1 time slower. So if you want to practice with me, you are more than welcome to do so. 카페에서 안 마시고 싶어요. 그러면 포장해 주세요. 라고 말해요. So let me repeat a little bit slower for you guys. Sorry. 카페에서
안 마시고 싶어요. 그러면 포장해 주세요. 라고 말해요. So now let's translate everything together. We have 카페에서, so we know that cafe is the location. So 카페에서 particle is a location or time particle where there is some type of action that is happening or not happening in this case in the sentence. So here you can say at the cafe. That is how you could literally translate that. Now we have an. Do you guys know what an would mean? Comment down below if you remember what an would mean. So this is a specific type of words that if it is being used, it changes completely the meaning of that sentence. So comment down below if you guys know what an would mean. So an just right here. Comment down below if you know what an would mean. I will give you guys a couple more seconds to comment down below the answer. I will give you guys the answer in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So that is actually correct. If you got it correctly, thank you so much for the like. Thank you. So an is a negation, which means no or not. It is also used with this verb just right here. So no, not 마시고 싶어요. So this comes here from, once again, the verb 마시다, to drink. We have the go particle that makes it end. So you can only use this particle in between either two verbs, which is the case right here, or in between two adjectives. So you cannot use that particle if you want to say end in between nouns, okay? So take note of that if you didn't know. So drink and 싶어요 from the verb 싶다, to want. So technically, a lot of times when you learn the verb 싶다, you will see that the go particle is always associated with it. So it comes with it because the verb 싶다 is one of those verbs that cannot be alone. So it needs another verb to make sense. So that is why, right, we have to go in between those two verbs. But you can think of it as want to drink. However, the way would be structured directly if we take the Korean structure into English, that would be directly drink and want. But we know that in English it doesn't make sense. So you can think of it as want to drink. But since we have the an, it makes it a negation, so don't want to drink. So now that we know the meaning behind each word, let's translate everything together. So we have at the cafe. Let's finish off by that. Not wanting to drink at the cafe. That could be the translation to this sentence. So if you basically do not want to drink at the cafe, you want the takeout, this is what you can say instead. So if it is the opposite to if you want to drink it inside, which is, you want to take out, this is what you will be saying, that we will be seeing just right now. Hi, how are you? Hi, Angela. Thank you so much for being here today. I'm doing great, and you? And thank you so much for the share. Thank you. And thank you so much for the like as well. You guys are the best. Okay. So now let's continue with this sentence just right here. Now that we know that if you do not want to drink at the cafe, this is what you should be saying instead. 그러면 포장해 주세요라고 말해요. So 그러면, do you guys remember? 안녕. I don't know if I spelled it right. Yes. 안녕. 어떻게 지내요? How are you doing today? Hopefully you're having a lovely day. Thank you so much for joining me today. So do you guys remember what 그러면 would mean? So we have seen it in the previous sentence, so you might remember what 그러면 would mean. And as you guys know, most words that are starting in 그 are connective words. So they connect two parts of one sentence together, or they connect two different sentences together as well. So comment down below, what does 그러면 would mean? I will give you guys a couple more seconds to comment down below the answer. So I will give you guys the answer in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So yes, that is actually correct, Merv. So it can either mean then. For me, I would translate that to in that case, but you can also say if so. If so, then, or in that case would be the 3 translation to 그러면. And then we have 포장해 주세요. Do you guys remember what 포장하다 would mean? Comment down below if you guys know what the verb 포장하다 would mean. We have seen it a couple of times last week, so if you were there to my other Korean study live streams, you might remember what 포장하다 would mean. This is a verb. Here it is put as 포장해, but this comes originally from the verb 포장하다. So comment down below if you guys remember what that means. If not, this is correct. That is okay. Okay. Yes, I see some great answers. I will be waiting a couple more seconds just in case anyone else wants to comment down below the answer. If you do not remember what that means, you can still try and guess the meaning of that word as well. So I will be drinking once again a little bit of water, and after that I will give you guys the answer. So technically that would be correct. You can think of it as to pack up your food or your drink. Thank you so much for the follow. Thank you. But I think of it as like to take out. So you know the takeout when you how can we put it as a verb? I had trouble with that last week. I was like, when you want to take out, would that be the verb? Because I feel like there is no verb for that, especially in English. So it is hard, but whenever you want to have takeout, so take your food or your drink to get and eat it or drink it outside the location, this is the verb that you want to use. So I say like to take out your food. Would that be the verb? Anyways, to pack up might be a better way to explain it. Thank you so much for the follow. Thank you. So 포장해 would be the to take out. 주세요, it comes from the verb 주다, to give, and then we have the 세요, which is an ending. We say we wanted to go. Yeah, exactly. I was like, we wanted to take out. I'll usually say, yeah, you guys are correct. Because in my head, I'm like, I will take takeout. That is how I would normally say it. I don't think this is correct in English. But in Korean, right, it would mean like, to take your food to go. Why do you speak English all the time when you teach South Korean? Are you okay? Yes, I am okay. So actually I speak English because we are studying Korean together, which is why. That still makes sense. Yeah. And then here, this ending, which is 세요, it is a polite way to either request something, and this is actually the closest way to say please in Korean because there is no direct word for please in Korean. Like they will teach you like 제발, but 제발 is more like when you are what is the word in English? When you're on your knees and you're like begging, that is when you want to use 제발. Do not use it in any other settings than in that. So here it is more the closest way to say please in Korean. It is often used when you want to request someone to do something, or sometimes you can use it as well in questions or just formal way of saying please. So here it's like saying please give me takeout. Please give me to go. Please make it to go. That is how they structure the sentence, but please give me takeout. That is how I view it. You can comment down below if there is a better way for you guys to say it that you would prefer. Personally, this is how in my brain it makes sense, but if there is another way for you guys that makes sense, please make sure to use that one. And then once again, we have 라고. Do you guys remember what 라고 would mean? So I'm just trying to see if you guys are following this Korean study session. So what does 라고 would mean as well? Comment down below if you remember what 라고 would mean. So we have seen it in the sentence before, so you might remember what that means. So comment down below. What does 라고 would mean? I will give you guys 5 more seconds to comment down below the answer. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So yes, Tiff, you are actually correct. This is the quotation thing, quotation particle. I don't know if that is how it is called, but 라고 could be, there is 3 different ways that you can use it. The first one, when you want to say how something is called. The second way, if you want to say how to say something specific, or if you want to say the translation of a word, right? So, for example, we have seen it a lot of times before when she explained, right, in quotation mark, a specific word or sentence, and then after that, she explains what is the meaning behind it. So, think of 라고, the one that is after the quotation mark. Sometimes you will see it without quotation marks, so you need to remember how we say this. That's how we say this, okay? And then 말해요 comes from the verb 말하다, to speak. So he's saying in that case, then, if so, you say it like 포장해 주세요. Please give me takeout, okay? So that would be the translation to those 2 sentences. If you have any questions about those one, please free to comment down below. But for now, let's continue with the next one.
세 번째는 따뜻하게 드릴까요? 차갑게 드릴까요? 예요. 이 말은 따뜻한 커피, 아이스 커피를 물어보는 말이에요.
Okay, so let's repeat those 2 sentences together. I will repeat one time faster and one time slower, so you're more than welcome to repeat it with me. 세 번째는 따뜻하게 드릴까요? 차갑게 드릴까요?예요. 이 말은 따뜻한 커피, 아이스 커피를 물어보는 말이에요. Okay, so let me repeat a little bit slower for you guys. 세 번째는 따뜻하게 드릴까요? 차갑게 드릴까요? 예요. 이 말은 따뜻한 커피, 아이스 커피를 물어보는 말이에요. Okay, so let's translate everything together. I know these are very, very big sentences, right? We can do it. I really do not know what is going on. Maybe, okay, like this, I think it's better, right? Slightly better? It's okay, we got this. We got this. We can do it. I think a lot of people are scared because the sentences are so big. I saw some people leaving as soon as they saw the sentences were bigger. We can do it, okay? We can translate everything together. You'll see once we figure it out the meaning of each word, it will become so much easier, okay? Do not be scared. 세 번째는, do you guys remember what that would mean? Comment down below. We have seen last week 첫 번째는, we have seen yesterday 두 번째는, and now we are seeing 세 번째는. Comment down below if you guys know what that would mean. So 세 번째는, what could that mean? Comment down below if you know. This is associated with a number, so this might give you a small clue as to what that means. Accounting words? Yes, technically here this is a counting unit. So you are correct. This is a counting unit and this is a number just right here. Native Korean number system. I'm giving you a lot of clues. So comment down below what does 세 번째는. Think of it. We have seen last week 첫 번째는. We have seen yesterday 두 번째는, and now we are seeing 세 번째는. So if you just counted, you might be able to figure it out. Hi Stefan, thank you so much for being here today. How are you doing? So yes, that is actually correct. So normally, 세 comes from the number set, which is number 3 in Korean numbers, Korean native numbers, sorry. But something that you need to remember is whenever you want to count things in native Korean number system, from number 1 to 4, you need to remove the last letter. So that is why the 시옷 under here is not there anymore, because it is 세 번째는 and not 셋 번째는. I don't know why there is this rule that from number 1 to 4, you need to remove the letter. And then after that, I think there are others that are being removed, but from 5, etc., you do not need to remove it. So that is very interesting fact. I do not know the reason for that. How did the visa go? Oh, so I actually, this morning, I did my last health test. So I do not have any more tests to do. I have more things to get done, but at least the health part is done. I think you do it for, yeah, exactly, for 22. That is as well. But yeah, so this is very exciting. That means that, I have almost everything ready for my visa. I'm just waiting for the results. So hopefully they come very, very soon. Very excited to have this part finally done for my visa. So yes, as I was saying, yay, good to hear. Yay, thank you so much. Really, really appreciate you guys. Okay, 세, number 3, 번째. 번째 would be associated with time. So for example, you can say like first time, second time, third times. However, in this context, that wouldn't really work. So you can think of it of like firstly, secondly, thirdly. She is telling us different points each time. So technically you would think it as 3 times, but in this context it is more put as thirdly. So this is not, third time, but thirdly. That is how we would translate it in this context, but a lot of times it would be more like 3 times. Okay? Be right back. It's okay, no worries. And then we have 따뜻하게. Comment down below if you guys know what 따뜻하게 means. This comes from the verb 따뜻하다, so you might know what that means. So comment down below, what does 따뜻하다 would mean? Comment down below if you know what 따뜻하다 would mean. I'm going to be giving you a very big hint. This is a verb that is associated with some type of temperature. So comment down below if you guys know what 따뜻하다 would mean. This is associated with it's the last word I know in this sentence. It's okay. I mean, technically you definitely know what 예요 would mean, right? But I understand. Okay, I will be giving you guys a couple more seconds for anyone that wants to comment down below the answer. Also, if you guys are new, don't forget to follow me just right here as I go live 4 times a week where we study Korean together just like today. So if you want to make sure to not miss my other Korean study live streams, make sure to follow me. The next Korean study live streams will be tomorrow. Okay, so you guys are correct. 따뜻하게 comes from the verb 따뜻하다, to be warm. Can you highlight the words you are on at all? I cannot highlight it in any... Sorry about... Sorry about that. So yes, it's this podcast. I really do not like the way she did it because there is no word like this. So it's very, very hard. But yes, this is the word that we are at. It's just after sometimes my mouse disappears. And it's very, very short, the amount of time. So I do not want to do that all the time. Okay, so 따뜻하게 comes from the verb 따뜻하다, to be warm. 드릴까요? We can think of it as, should I give it hot? We can think of it like that. I do not remember. It is not from the same verb as yesterday. I do not remember from which verb this is coming from originally. But it's like, should I give it hot? This is like how we can think of it. Let me just see if I will be able to see. 드리다. Yes. 드리다. This is a formal way. More formal way of saying to give or to offer. So the should I give it hot would be the great way to do that. So you will see this verb a lot of times when you are how can I say that? In formal situations. So, especially when you are at restaurants or cafes or stores, they will always be saying that verb. So, for example, if you want the receipt, right, they will be using that as well. If you want, I do not have any other examples in my head, but this sounds funny in English. Yeah, I know, right? So it's basically saying, should I give it to you hot? Should I give it to you hot? This is how you can translate that. This sounds very, very weird. Like in English, we would say, do you want it hot? But in Korean, they will say, should I give it hot? I know that phrase from my K-dramas. Yes, they use that a lot of times in K-dramas as well, especially that verb. So think of that. This is from the verb 드리다, which is to give or to offer something to someone, and often it is used in formal settings. Okay, so more formal settings, and it is always, not always, but a lot of times used in questions form. So here it is put into question form. So there is different ways that you can turn a sentence into questions, and this is one of them. So should I give it to you hot? Warm, sorry. Should I give it to you warm? That does not make sense, but you guys know what I mean, right? Do you want it hot? Let's think of it like that, but here it's more as to give or offer to the other person. I don't know how else that would be said. Yeah, I do not know, because this is not the way that we would say it in English, so it's very hard to find a way that would be accurate with what those words mean, but in an English way and still making it sense. That is what I struggle a lot of times, because sometimes those are things, words that, not words, but formulations that doesn't work well in English. But at the same time, I do not want to completely change the meaning of the sentence to make it grammatically correct in English. So sometimes that is very, very hard to formulate. Okay, so let's continue now. 차갑게. Do you guys remember what 차갑게 would mean? So this is actually the opposite. However, you need to remember, okay, because a lot of people associate 춥다, 추워요, the verb to be cold, with this one. But in Korean, it's fine. It's understandable. The main point comes across. Yes, that is the main thing, right? Because something that you need to know also in Korean, because they really like to make things harder for us. Whenever you are talking about drinks, food, and the weather, you need to use different words. So you cannot use 추워요 with a drink. You need to use the word cold for drink. So 차갑게 would be cold. So you guys are actually correct, but you only use it with food or drinks that are cold. You cannot use it for the weather. So this is something that you need to also remember. Also, 따뜻한, which is to be warm, is a lot of times, I mean, technically, sometimes you will hear it with the weather, but not really. This is mostly used also for drinks or food. If you want to say the weather is hot, then you say 덥다, 더워요. Okay, so you need to remember for drinks, food, and weather, there is different type of hot, warm, and cold that you need to use. Let me just see what is the verb again for this one. Is it just 차갑다? I'm not sure. Let me just double check because 차갑다. So to be cold or icy, but with drinks or food. Describing a person's way. I'm not sure I understand this. But yes, so here it is the same principle, but with cold. Okay, cold. 드릴까요? This is from the verb 드리다, to give or offer in a formal way. So should I give it to you cold? Okay, should I give it to you warm? Should I give it to you cold? Interesting, right? And 예요 comes from the verb 이다, to be. So thirdly, it is either do you want it hot
Or do you want it cold? Or should I give it cold? Or should I give it hot? I think 따뜻하다 means mild or warm. Yeah, exactly. But 따뜻하다 is mostly used with drinks or food. 덥다 is only used with weather, so you cannot use it with food. So you cannot say that, right, your food is hot and using 더워요. You need to use 따뜻하다. So very interesting, right? So let's continue with the second sentence just right here. But if you have any questions about this one just right here, please feel free to comment down below. So now let me repeat this sentence. Okay, thank you. You're welcome. 이 말은 따뜻한 커피, 아이스 커피를 물어보는 말이에요. Okay, so now let's say that together. If you already know the meaning of that sentence, please feel free to comment down below. So here we have 이 말은. Do you guys remember? Yes, that is amazing. 아이스 커피. This is definitely not Konglish at all. So what does 이 말은 would mean? What could that mean? 이 말은. Comment down below. What does 이 말은 would mean? So technically there is a specific meaning, but in this context it is like there is just one meaning that would work. So comment down below if you remember what 이 말은 would mean. I will be drinking a little bit of water again, and after that I will be giving to you the answer. You just said it. What did I say? What did I say? I'm not sure. I don't think I said it. I don't think I said it. Oh yes, Tiff, you got it. So here, think of it. This, 이 is this, not tooth, okay? 말은, it comes from word, okay? A word that is a lot of times spoken. So 이 말은 together can either mean this word, this sentence, or we can use this saying. This saying would work well with 이 말은. So this saying, okay? Oh, never mind, I misheard. It's okay, no worries. I was like, I don't think I said it, but maybe I did. So 이 말은, technically it would mean this word that is spoken, but we can translate it to this word, this sentence, or this saying. All of them could work. We have 따뜻한. Once again, it comes from the verb 따뜻하다, to be warm with drinks or food. However, here it is put as an adjective to 커피, which is coffee. Thank you so much for the follow. Thank you. So this saying, okay, this sentence, warm coffee, 아이스 커피를. So we have 아이스. What is 아이스? I'm sure you guys, this means warm coffee. Yeah, 안녕하세요. 어떻게 지내요? How are you doing today? So what does 아이스 커피 would mean? This is a very, how can I say, a surprise. I'm sure no one knows what 아이스 커피 would mean. Konglish, what is Konglish? I have no clue. So what does 아이스 커피 would mean? I just imagine someone that doesn't know me and just entered this live stream and is like, what is she talking about? I'm definitely not being sarcastic, right? I'm sure you guys know that I am sarcastic a lot of times, but for people who do not know me, they might think like this girl is weird. Or maybe like it means Korea. I think it means something related to the sea. I'm not sure. 안녕하세요, 선생님. 안녕하세요, 아리. 어떻게 지내요? How are you doing today? I could never guess. I know, right? I'm sure no one is able to guess what is the meaning behind 아이스 커피. I'll never know. Okay, so if you can't read Hangul, you won't know it. Yeah, for sure. Hello, how are you? Hello, thank you so much for being here. I'm doing well, and you? Okay, so I know it's very, very a hard word for you guys, but 아이스 커피 would mean iced coffee. I'm sure no one was able to guess such a hard word. Thank you so much for the follow. Thank you.
Please, you have to teach us this advanced word. Yeah, it's very, very hard to know, right? Thank you for asking. I'm okay. I'm happy to hear that. Okay, so on a more serious note, iced coffee. This is something I really, really like, but especially I prefer iced latte, but this is another story. And then we have 물어보는. We have actually seen that verb last week. Do you guys remember what 물어보다 would mean? Comment down below if you guys remember what 물어보다 would mean. What does that mean? This is a verb that we have seen actually last week. I think it was a hard word because I'm not sure if anyone was able to guess it last week. But if you have taken any notes and you have possibly reviewed it from last week, you might remember what that means. I see a great answers. I will wait a couple more seconds to see if anyone else wants to comment down below what 물어보다, what this verb would mean. You know, most of the time when you see the verb 보다, it means to see, but in this context, it has nothing to do with the verb to see. Okay, to check what you want. Not exactly, but that is a great guess. So 물어보다 is the verb to ask or to request. Okay? Whenever you want to ask someone a question, okay, or asking something, this is the verb that you want to use. Yes, exactly. It can be a question or it can be a request, right? You want someone to do something for you. That is one way that you can actually use this verb. And then 말이에요 comes from, it is not from the verb 말해요, right? 말하다, differently. Here it is the word the word. Can you say the word again? Yes, so here it is 물어보다. This is the verb to ask or to request. Okay, I saw also it can mean like to interrogate, but that is a little bit too intense in my vocabulary to interrogate. But if you prefer this translation, it is up to you as well. So here, 말이에요 comes from 말, which is a word, a sentence, a saying, but it is interrogation at the cafe. Almost at this point. Sometimes they ask you so many questions that you're like, is it gonna end at one point? So here, from the verb 이다, to be, okay, so it is, okay, a sentence or a saying that asks you if you want your coffee hot or if you want your coffee cold. Yeah, this is basically how we would translate that. There is 2 times the same thing. But as you guys know, Korean really love to repeat themselves sometimes. So it's basically saying that this sentence, this phrase, this saying is asking you, here it's not saying like if you want or things like that, but if you want your coffee hot or your coffee cold. Your coffee hot or your coffee cold. So if you have a better way to translate that sentence in a more poetic way, more formulated way, please comment down below. I'm sure a lot of people will actually enjoy it because sometimes I have trouble to structure my sentences. What channel is that? It is called 채수수. 이렇게. 채수수. So this is the YouTube channel where you can find this video. So yes, this is basically the meaning of that sentence. You see, it sounded very scary at first when we saw that, but it's way easier than we think. So now, because to not overwhelm too much by looking at it, let me repeat those 2 sentences one more time. And after that, let's see if we have time for one more. Thirdly, it is, do you want it cold or do you want it warm? This saying, this sentence, this word spoken is asking you basically if you wanted your coffee cold or if you want it warm, okay? So this is a way, right? In English we would say do you want, But in Korean, you say, should I give it to you warm or should I give it cold? It's very, very interesting. You might remember it better because this is very a weird saying. For me, that is how it works the best. When it is weird and it doesn't really make sense, that is when it sticks the most to my brain. So if you guys want, should we do one more sentence before the end of today? Please let me know if you want me to do one more sentence before we end it for today. If not, we will be continuing tomorrow. Do you guys want to do a different podcast tomorrow or should we continue that one? Please let me know as well. So should we be doing one more sentence for today? And should we continue with this podcast tomorrow as well? So there are 2 questions that I'm asking to you guys. Next week is my final week of school before the holidays. Oh, really? So you probably have a lot of exam. Good luck on your studies. Yes, one more, please. Okay, perfect. Let's do one more. I will be drinking once again a little bit of water. It's so cold right here and it's snowing right now. So I feel like my throat is so up to the weather. So that is why I need to drink a lot of water. So I will just drink one little sip and we will do the last sentence together afterwards. I swear I had to get out this morning and it was so cold. I don't know if where you are from this is cold, but right now in Canada it is very cold. Yes, we had exams. Oh my god, I hope that your exams went well. I really hope so. So let's continue with the last sentence for today.
말이에요. 제가 아메리카노 주세요. 말하면 직원이 따뜻한 걸로 드릴까요? 말할 수 있어요.
Okay, I felt politics but passed my... Oh, that is amazing. You have politics? Poor you. I never had any class. A win is a win. Yeah, exactly. And at the same time, I get it because politics. Anyways, I don't know if I'm allowed to say anything if I do not want TikTok to ban me for saying my opinion, but I get it. I think I got an E. Oh no, but that's okay. That's politics, so that makes sense. I would have probably felt it too if I had any when I was in high school, so I get you. Okay, so let me repeat that sentence one time. This is actually a very long sentence. I am not sure if we will be able to do... Yes, it's irrelevant. I don't know why they give you these type of classes. Anyways, maybe I don't know. Maybe it would be good, right? Because I don't know anything about politics. Maybe that would have been helpful in my life. I think we definitely will do it. So the thing is that this sentence is very long and I don't have a lot of time, sadly. So let's do this first part right here, which is the first part of the sentence anyways. Let's continue with the second part of the sentence tomorrow. There's a lot of coding in this podcast. I know, right? There is a lot of codings. I mean, it makes sense because the title is like things they say at the cafe. So that makes sense that there are a lot of quotation marks. But you know, you will be able to see all the ways to use quotation marks in Korean. Isn't that fantastic? Isn't that fantastic? Okay, so let's go with this first part right here and let's finish off with the second part tomorrow. No, it's not fantastic. Okay, so let's start right here. Oh, actually, I didn't read that sentence. So let's read it together. I will read the full sentence, but we will be only translating half of it. I hate grammar. I hate grammar too, but I mean, we are learning new things today, so that is very exciting. Okay. 제가 아메리카노 주세요 말하면 직원이 따뜻한 걸로? This is, I do not know what this word means. 드릴까요? 말할 수 있어요. Okay, so let me repeat a little bit slower for you guys. 제가 아메리카노 주세요 말하면 직원이 따뜻한 걸로 드릴까요? 말할 수 있어요. Okay, but it's not boring when you teach us. I'm happy to hear that I am not making Korean boring. And I really love that because even myself, I do not feel like I am studying Korean when I'm doing that with you guys. So this is amazing because When I used to study Korean with textbooks, I would literally fall asleep. So if we can find a fun way to study Korean, that is even better. Okay, so let's start with 제가. Do you guys remember what 제가 would mean? Comment down below if you guys remember what 제가 would mean. What does that mean? Comment down below if you remember what 제가 would mean. So it means something, but there is a specific difference with the regular words. Going through these podcasts alone feel brutal. Oh, really? Brutal as in like you want to stop it already. Like if you would do it alone, you would like listen to one sentence and that's it. That is what you mean by brutal. But that is amazing, right? We are having a lot of fun together. So it makes studying Korean way more natural. Not natural, but easier, right? Me saying, yes, you're trying to find, how do we call that again in English? Synonyms of the word me. That is amazing. So that is correct. 제가 is me, myself, I. However, you need to remember, first of all, it is in formal settings, okay? Formal form. So if you want to use 제가, you always end the sentence with some type of formality. 저요입니다, 합니다, 씁니다. So if you want to talk casually, you would use 내가 instead of 제가. Second of all, this is an emphasizing on yourself, okay? So whenever you want to emphasize yourself, this is the word that you want to use. So there is a slight difference between 저는, which is, right, the I, me, myself, okay? But 제가 is really putting the emphasis on yourself. So think of it as I'm the one who did this, or I'm the one who is ordering this in this case, or I'm the one that is saying this. So think of it as I'm the one who blah blah blah. Okay, 제가 putting emphasis on yourself, basically. Now we have americano. So this is a Konglish word, americano. Do you guys like americano? I really do not like americano, but this is a really big thing in Korea. I wish I could understand. The only time I drank americano in Korea was when I was working. This was the only, inside the office, they only had americano. So I had no other alternatives to drink, but I really did not enjoy it. Never tried americano. It really depends if you like the taste of coffee. I don't like coffee at all unless it's, I understand, Tiff. I really understand. I do not like coffee as well, the taste. So for me, it needs to be as sugary as possible. I will probably die of a heart attack one day. But for me, it needs to not taste coffee anymore. So I totally get it. I don't like coffee either. Oh, that is amazing. I love you guys because I do not like the taste. I just need the caffeine, basically. But I get it. Get sugar-free flavor. Yes, I have sugar-free flavor, but at the same time, I'm like, is it really better? Is it really, like, I have this syrup that is sugar-free, but I do not know if at the same time, you know, because I put a lot in it. So, you know, I do not know if that is really more healthy or not. So let's see how long I can continue that way. I have only sugar-free flavor. That is amazing. I think it's just to make you feel better. Yeah, because like I said, I really do not like the taste of coffee. So it really needs to taste something else than coffee. So that is why I need a lot of sugar. Hello, how are you today? Hello, thank you so much for being here today. I'm doing well, and you? Okay, so let's finish this sentence because I swear one time we spoke for 30 minutes after this live stream just yapping and I could go on for hours. So let's try to finish this sentence. So americano, Konglish word. 주세요. Did you change your TikTok bio? I don't think so. Why? Did anything change? Thank you so much for the follow. So here we have 주세요, that comes from the verb 주다, to give. We have the 세요 ending, which is a polite way to say please. Oh, I never noticed it. Oh, really? But yes, I have changed it a long time ago, like 2 or 3 months ago. And I don't think I changed it since then. Well, I changed it a month ago because I was missing some, I didn't have enough space, so I put some emojis instead of words. But yeah, your marketing. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I am working in marketing, so it makes sense, right? Okay, so seo is a polite way of saying please. A lot of times it is when you request something from someone. So here we could translate that to please give me Americano. Okay? And then we have 말하면 comes from the verb 말하다, to speak or to talk, but we have the 면 particle right here. So do you guys remember what 면 would mean? Comment down below if you remember what 면 would mean when it is attached to another word. So what does that mean when we add the 면 attached to another word? On the condition of doing something? Yeah, that could actually be correct. That is correct. There is a specific English translation words that could be the anyways, I'm searching for words, but I cannot find it in my head right now. I think I said that because, yeah, exactly. But it definitely either means when or if. Yes, so as simple as that, if or when, but it is a condition to something. So you are correct. You just went the harder direction. But that would be correct. If or when, here we can say like, because she's saying speaking, but it's kind of like when she is ordering. So when or if she, because we would translate that to when she is ordering, this is what I am saying. When I am ordering, this is what I am saying. But here the way it is formulated is, I don't know how I remembered that. And yeah, that is very amazing that you remembered something more complicated than the actual answer. Amazing. So yes, it's saying that she is what she normally say when she is ordering. Okay, but to translate that, oh yeah, here she just says, if I say one Americano. Yeah, that would be a more simple way to explain that, to be honest. I was looking way too far into that. But yeah, okay. If I say one Americano, please give me one Americano, that would be actually correct. Yeah, I don't know why I was searching so far away for that. Sorry, I think I'm a little bit tired. That might be why. I need more coffee. Anyways, so that would be the meaning of that sentence, okay? So when or if she says, because this is her, but I'm gonna say I since it is 제가, one Americano please give. This is what the employee will do. We will see it tomorrow. So I, Americano, please give, speak when or if. Does that make sense? Hopefully it makes sense. It is time to end it right now because my brain is not braining anymore. Oh my god. I think because Stefan went in the hard way to find the answer, my brain went in the same direction of finding a translation to this part. But that would be the meaning of this first part of the sentence. So we will continue this one tomorrow. Brain has left the chat. Yes, my brain has left the chat, definitely. So do you guys have any questions? If not, that will be the end for today. But we will see each other tomorrow. Also, if you guys are interested, I posted a video this lunchtime, like 2 hours ago. So if you want to go watch it afterwards, I would really, really appreciate it. I actually taught you some Korean meals, so hopefully you guys will enjoy this type of video. Let me know if you enjoyed this type of video. I actually filmed today a couple more that is similar to that one, so hopefully you will like this format. This is a new format that I haven't done before, so hopefully, you guys will enjoy that. I'm testing a lot of things at once now because I'm trying to see which type of content I like doing. So, you know, there might be some little changes in my content here and there, but hopefully you guys enjoy it. I'm always a reason to something happening. No, not at all. First, konnichiwa, green alien. Definitely not. No, it is always enjoyable when you guys are all here. So I'm very, very grateful. Do you guys have any questions, any comments? If not, that will be the end for today. But we will see each other tomorrow at the same time. I just want to let you guys know that, you know, in the past 2 weeks, my life schedule has changed a lot, but now it should stay the same. So now it should be back on track to where how it was at before. This week everything else will be at the same time, same day as normally, so do not worry, it will be the same because I am mostly done with my appointments, so I do not need to take whatever they give me. So you know, I should be okay to do my normal schedule of my live streams. I'm always forget. It's okay, no worries. Thank you so much for being here today. Like today I missed the bus. I thought my school ended later. Oh no, really? Oh no, poor you. I do have a question. Will you still do TikTok lives once you move to Korea? I would really love it. I would really, really love it to do some live streams. I do not think I will be able to do as often as I'm doing now because I will most likely be working full-time in Korea. And as you guys know, Korean working culture can be sometimes a little bit crazy. And I have experienced it last year, so I know how crazy it can get. So I will try my best to fit it around my schedule. But yeah, Korean working culture can be quite crazy. So hopefully I won't end up at a company that overworks me. Let's really hope so. Yes, I was studying when school ended. Oh no. Well, at least you are a dedicated student. Korea works so long. Yeah, I know, right? But the thing is that when we are in Korea as well, we start later. I know when I had my internship, we would normally start at like 10 a.m. and would finish at like 7 p.m. But if I'm being honest, when I started, I would arrive at like 8:30 a.m. and I would finish at 8 p.m. So you can see how crazy it can get. I'll enjoy your time while we still have it. Yeah, but I will really try my best to do as much Korean live streams as I can, but it might be like 2 times a week. But I will still try my best to do it as often as possible. But like I say, right now I do not know how my schedule will be, so it's very hard for me to say for sure, okay, it will be that way. But I will try my best to do at least 2 times every week. I will miss the live streams if it not happen. It will happen for sure. I'm not sure of the time. I will have to see depending on the time zone, my schedule, and what you guys prefer. But I might ask you which time would be better for you when it is time. But yes, and also when I will arrive in Korea, I will probably have a week off before I start work. So I will let you guys know everything when it's time there then. But we still have about 2 months-ish, a little bit less than 2 months. So we still have time, right? We still have time. So yes, do you guys have any more questions? If not, that will be the end for today. But I swear to you guys, I will still be posting often and I will try my best to do at least 2 live streams each week so that it doesn't change too much. But I swear I will have so much fun content. That will be amazing. I'm very excited about that though. So when do you get the job? How do you leave the job? What do you mean? What? Because it's for 1 year? Is that what you're saying? When you get the job, how do you leave the job? Or like, how do you resign? Is that what you're asking? Not sure. Like quit? How do I quit the job? In Korea, how do we quit job? Is that what you're asking? For me, when I did my internship, it was only for 3 months. So when he hired me, he knew it would be only for 3 months. But or is it just, yeah, it will be only a 1-year contract that I will be having. But depending, I might ask them if they want to put it further, you know, more than 1 year after that. But yes, What if you could stay longer? I would probably stay. I would probably go to Canada for like 1 month and come back because I really do not like Canada. Yes. 안녕히 가세요. Gotta back to work. Thank you so much for being here, Tiff. I really, really appreciate it. I hope you have a lovely rest of the day. But yes, but I think in Korea, when you want to quit, you just give your resign letter and you just leave the same day. In Canada, you need to give like a 2 weeks notice, but in Korea, you can literally dip the same day. So you give your notice, you pack your things, and you're like, bye. So that's what I heard. I mean, in dramas, that is how it works. Is K-drama the reality? I'm not sure because I was only working in Korea for 3 months and I did not need to quit. So this is hard to say, but from K-dramas that I've watched, normally you leave the same day that you quit. Okay, so now I will have to go because I have a lot of things to do still for the rest of the day, but we will see each other tomorrow. If you guys want me to do a real Q&A really soon, please let me know and we might take one of our live streams to do a whole Q&A. Thank you for your live. Thank you so much for joining. I really, really appreciate everyone that is able to join me each time. And I will see you tomorrow at the same time. So from an hour ago to your time zone, this is the time I will be going live tomorrow. I think now I need to give a break to my brain. So I will have to go. But I will see you guys tomorrow. 안녕히 계세요, 여러분. 내일 봐요. 안녕. 안녕.